Hello, welcome. Doing some testing here before the stream, or actually the match is going to start. I think I'm a little louder. Test. Hello for the stream. Test. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, that's good enough. So, set up the announcements and... Actually, I'm still pretty loud though. So for this match, we're gonna have Faydee versus momoonim. Our last matches before was kind of close. We went up to a tiebreaker and a clutch win for Quarterfinals. But we're enjoying the BGM here for a bit. But I think the players are just starting to get ready, assuming that there will be a warm-up. So it's just a waiting game for a bit before anything starts. And we're gonna get a total map for the warm-up. So, watch the matches for today. We've seen some pretty strong scores, even though the maps have been increased to Mizukashi. So it just goes to show that the players are kind of more adapted or more proficient with these kinds of levels. But unfortunately, Faydee doesn't have a warm-up, so probably gonna play a single warm-up once more. I'm trying to adjust. The armrest was kind of weird. But the players today, Faydee and momoonim. Momoonim has played the full set, because there were some forfeit matches. This is losers bracket. That means that both players have played matches and have been sent into losers bracket. So it's gonna be tournament life for one of the players here. One will go ahead and one will fall. A few interesting things to note. Momoonim, I believe, was pretty consistent throughout one of the few mods, but on the other hand, the scores were more or less satisfactory but not perfect. So, assuming that Faydee keeps her usual consistency throughout the rest of the maps, she might get some good breakpoints early on. But we're still just waiting for the players to start their warm-up as we wait. the GLHFs here, and we're gonna get. I think this is the band, the triple bando boss fight. I actually really like this one. Bit of syncing before thing warms up. We're gonna get. Sorry about that. DDKK stream there. Both players unable to hit the. So, the matches will be played with Muzukashi maps, and these patterns are actually great for practicing. These kind of patterns. So, momoonim probably played this map with the intentions of checking his condition with triplets, maybe. And those low SP. This map's actually pretty good. I might download this in the meantime. While we wait for the rolls to come after this warm-up. And here we go. Extremely fast SBs. Moonim did manage to get the start, but unfortunately, there's this map. Oh my god, that was good. That was a good map. Both players passing that. And Moonim got the 69 buff with the D rank. Yeah, not bad. That actually got me. That actually got me laughing for a bit. So, moving on, we will get into the roles. So I don't assume that this would be a smart battle. I think, well, personally, my predictions here is gonna be a bit of I'm gonna ban HD1 while Moonim is gonna ban something else, and we're just gonna pick our best maps versus each other. And Moonim rolls a fat 5. Now that's a sneeze roll right there. Faydee rolling a good 76. And Moonim goes for the first ban. We'll see. For this, we're gonna see an HD ban for Moonim, and that would be on Faydee's side because her gameplay for HD has been rather a weak point. And we're gonna definitely see an HD1 ban. Let's see. And yep, an instant HD1 ban and a DT2 ban. Well, that's kind of interesting because Faydee tends to start with a lot of no mod, but picking DT is kind of interesting. I mean, it can work, as DT2 is pretty fast. It's one of the, So, nobody will play HD for this match. We're gonna get Daisy. This map was played in the previous matches before. But if you guys can hear the background sounds, I kind of apologize in advance. Pretty nice. Outside of ours. And it seems like both players are pretty pretty soon. So, details on this map, they're pretty dense. It's Futsu, but the fact that it does go on to DT, the 270 BPM, it's very similar to Nomod 2. With the sole exception that it's a higher OD and contains quadruple pattern, specifically DKKD, or KDDK pala. But both players did get 1x100 on the slow parts, but momoonim just gets a little bit extra 100, just a little bit of insurance. And the miss, that is unfortunate. So Faydee will get this early lead, and it will be pretty small, around 20k. But assuming that momoonim does manage to recover from the early miss, then we'll see a close match with how Faydee played it. So the OD does strike momoonim hard as we're getting early 100s. Momoonim is hitting them a bit early, a bit late actually. Faydee is keeping a good OD, but there are a lot of notes that stray off. She's just keeping her accuracy by a thread. The section, the good TI section here, and Faydee is leading on with about 200 points. Actually, anyway, it's not really 30, but it's still a gigantic lead versus momoonim, as momoonim is having so much trouble keeping that accuracy in check. And Faydee here, just easily gets this 1 million score for DT2, and it's about 1,075,000. Not a bad score, assuming that this map is pretty fast. Versus a B rank, good score, with only 1x miss, but those 100s spell a lot of trouble with that accuracy. So, Faydee will take her point for her first pick, while momoonim plans ahead for his next pick. And he instantly goes for free mod 3. So we might see a free mod for Faydee, while momoonim does choose the map itself, but we'll have to see if he goes for mod, as this map is pretty difficult. But seeing that Faydee did get a good score for DT2, those fast SBs might not be too much of a trouble. Waiting for the players to get ready. The match will start, and we're gonna see both players going for HR. So, stuff to see in this map, incredibly deadly speed up throughout the TI, and a pretty tough pattern around after that fast TI section. But for now, momoonim with some early 100s gives Faydee this early lead, about 20k. So he has to recover from this just a little bit more, and as long as he keeps this small gap in check, chances will come pretty soon as the speed ups will prove a bit of trouble. Faydee there with some early 100s as well. Here we go, the speed up section. This part's very tough, but both players are hitting them with definite ease here. About multiple section, but ooh, nasty 100s with her Faydee. I think she missed some finishers, but that's why this gap is very small. But momoonim hitting those finishers with probably precision there, and unfortunately the lead goes back to momoonim as he picks this map. Gonna have to see, wow, back and forth early on. momoonim only held that lead by a thread, but the accuracy does come to Faydee's side for a while. But it's only the slow sections here. Finisher comes. Faydee will take this with around a 10,000 point lead. Amazing. It was kind of unlucky that she did miss some finishers, but the accuracy does prove a bit of advantage on her side. She will take this breakpoint from momoonim. Good plays for both of the players here. FM3 is pretty hard with hard rock. And he goes for Nova Vortex, a very techy map. So we haven't seen much play from Faydee with techy, nor momoonim. Though he did get a good score on Nomad 3 during the round of 16. But that's about it. There hasn't been much of offbeats and snapping. A lot of Sun with some SBs, but we'll see. The Eri remap, and it's a pretty good Mizakashi map, alongside with just some 1 minute and 47. Both players start their matches, we'll see. Alright, Faydee did get through that early section with no accuracy drops. As well as never mind, momoonim does get 100 early on. Also with Faydee, but the 100 gap does show. Both players with some relatively okay accuracy. Momoonim is slowly getting his accuracy back to 98. While Faye here is working on her way to 99. Let's get into the PI section, the first quarter of the map. Q100s on that does bring it down, but Faydee misses. The lead's gonna go back to momoonim as he goes, thank you very much. But a few 100s there brings back the lead to Faydee. It's gonna be pretty close. But momoonim does have this combo advantage. It's a good part to the halfway through the map. Comes out with a small lead. Faydee here has to recover quickly. As this combo will just slowly get larger. Few 100s there from momoonim. Alongside with Faydee as well. She does have the accuracy advantage, but that one miss. Unfortunately, momoonim with a big choke on that section of the map. So Faydee takes back her lead pretty easily here, and she has to hold this to win. That is a big drop from momoonim. About 40,000 lead. So PI section should be the last parts, and Faydee can hold this. She can get her point back and give no chance for momoonim for any kind of comeback. And that she will do. That will be a 3-0 lead for Faydee's side, and it will be her pick since it is a breakpoint. Pretty good score for both of them. Both had a bit of trouble in one section, but Faydee kept her consistency even though missing once. While momoonim instantly goes for a 3-2. Oh, my bad. So it is momoonim's pick, so she won her pick. preventing a breakpoint from momoonim. It's gonna be different too. So we thought I played this with HR, while Christian played it with HDHR. We will see if momoonim plays it with HDHR or just HR. Match will start, and both players sticking in with the trusty old hard rock for 3 mod 2. Both scores are even. First 40 notes. And momoonim breaks the first SS. So Faydee keeping that SS for the first part of the map. And those triples, unfortunately momoonim is hitting those a little too early, as well as Faydee, but that is the trick with HR. That OD increase is not to be forgotten. The demand for the maps are more stricter than usual, and I think Faydee skipped some slider ticks there. That's why the score kinda reduced for a little bit. But this accuracy lead is pretty large. 90 and a full ass 98 to 99. 98, yeah, 99.7 to 99. Though, as you can see, due to that slider and I think a finisher, this lead is very small. So with any kind of mistake here, anything can happen. But momoonim still getting those early 100s. So this lead will just slowly increase for every 100 that he gets. And that miss is something that he does not like. Giving any more points to Faydee here will prove to be a difficult time cover. A bit of a lag on your side. Alright, I'm back. My stream lag for a second there. But Faydee keeping this good 30k, and momoonim, another unfortunate miss on that last part of the half. You gotta have to see Faydee miss here for any chance of a comeback. As for now, any kind of 100s here would be accepted, but that 99.2 is very, very strong. The miss from momoonim. This lead is just growing larger and larger for each miss. But he's keeping up pretty good accuracy, even with those misses, so he's not losing out, at least in that department. But it will be the slow section and the last pie of the map. And Faydee working on a 1 million score. Final PI, and you gotta see momoonim play this perfectly. And Faydee getting her 1 million score, but momoonim's edging off around the 910 with a 10 miss. Unfortunate, but a good score nonetheless. And we'll be taking that breakpoint from momoonim. It's going to be a 4-0 lead on the Faydee side. And assuming she will win her pick, we might see a pretty strong dominant gameplay from Faydee. Will be her pick. And she goes for DT1. Gunning in for the final pick on her side. Note that there is a whole load of no mod, assuming that momoonim will get this point back. She still has a lot of maps on her side. But DT1 won't be the choice. Moonim had a bit of trouble keeping the accuracy for DT2. Let's see how well he'll play in DT1. So keeping an accuracy for DT tends to be a bit of trouble, as most of the time in a lot of tournaments, unless you specialize in DT, a lot of the all-arounders tend to average around 97 or 98. So if Faydee keeps up around a 99, she definitely has a bit of confidence or advantage with DT. And it's already showing us Moonim keeping that 92. The OD is definitely not something to be to enjoy. Faydee here few 100s, but definitely a gigantic accuracy difference between the early part of the map. A pretty interesting lead, about 30k. A few 100s might bring that lead down, but at the same time, momoonim is having a bit of trouble with that accuracy, trying his best to keep it up. And did he just miss? I clearly saw that he didn't miss that. He did it. Maybe he hit it a little too late. But unfortunately, he does miss on that note. Single dawn, the last one. We'll give a huge point lead to Faydee. And any errors here is more than accepted, but that won't be enough for a win for momoonim. Let's go to the KI section here. Both players hitting them pretty consistently. Momoonim did come out with a bit more 100s on that side, but overall, very, very consistent KI section for both players. Faydee slowly working on a 98. But a few 100s bring that back to 97.7. While momoonim still struggling. Few more 100s on the duplet section. Very, very tough. These 100s are just very painful. And Faydee wins with a sizable lead, 200,000 points. And the match point as well. Momoonim had the world against him. This will be potentially his last pick, so he has to choose this well, as he's gonna be playing versus a match point for just about 6 matches, or 6 maps. But to his side, he has a lot of free modder and HR to play with, and he's completely avoiding a nomad battle to Faydee. Though, as much as it is, this is a pretty risky pick, especially for volatile plays, where a lot of 100s and misses might come up. HR1 with its short duration and that OD5 alongside with HR, well, alongside with a 3-1-3 mapping, will prove a bit of trouble. As if momoonim does make a mistake here versus Faydee, it might cost him the match. So, momoonim has to play this very well, as Faydee isn't showing any signs of giving up any any bad scores just yet. This kind of pressure is very palpable. As a player, you can feel this, as the match point is looming on your back. Momoonim doesn't give up, he might have a chance, but those early 100s, very rough. As already, this might be just the first 50 notes, but we're already a quarter in. Finisher sections, but the interesting part of this map is definitely the KI section. And Faydee having trouble with the 1-3s. Those misses are something that momoonim is kinda enjoying. If he keeps his accuracy up, he might get this comeback score. The KI section here. Faydee completely recovering from that one miss. The momoonim is working on his accuracy for a bit, but those few 100s here and there in the rough. Yeah, here go more 1-3s. These 1-3s might spell the win as he's slowly losing her lead. But is still keeping a lead nonetheless. 99 accuracy in the first part of the map. Heading to the last slice. This lead is just getting smaller and smaller. But will it be enough for momoonim to take back that point? We'll see. The sections and Faydee skipping another slider there. But winning up with only 5,000 points. We take this match to a 6-0 sweep. Very dominant score for Faydee. That is GG's. A very convincing sweep. But quickly enough, that will be the match. And I believe the stream will move to the other match, which is Vero versus Puro and Colin. But Faydee will take this to a sweep win, proving herself a pretty strong competitor in the losers bracket, while momoonim does get sent into out of the tournament.